The 10 o'clock news starts now.
Cigarette craving. Upstate cops say they nabbed the thief hitting convenience stores looking for smokes.
Cats found dead and sick inside this upstate home. Tonight, the smell and the flies that tipped off police.
Plus, a local motorcycle scam comes to a crashing end in a Craigslist sting. Good evening, I'm Cody Alcorn.
And I'm Diana Watson, and we're talking dangerous thunderstorms after a very hot day. Definitely enough to bring down trees across parts of our area, and one of the hardest hit places in the upstate was this area, right around Reedville Road in Spartanburg County.
That's right, and those storms brought serious lightning. That's what sparked a house fire here on Woodsbury Shoals Drive in Duncan. Firefighters knocked the fire down, but there's plenty of damage along the roof. You see it right there. Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent. Kendra, it was a pretty dangerous afternoon out there.
Yeah, it was, guys, and we'll likely have a repeat tomorrow. More of those storms will bubble up during the heat of the day, especially after 2 p.m. And we'll be watching for heavy rain, lightning, even more damaging wind possible. Take a look at what's out there now, though. We have seen the storms diminish. Just some light rain lingering for Lawrence as well as Newberry County. And in northeast Georgia, we're seeing those showers start to push to the south. And it was so hot today. Look at this, 97 in Toccoa, as well as in Spartanburg. That heat really fueled the thunderstorms, and that was a big problem with those thunderstorms later or throughout the day and into the evening hours. And meteorologist Ted Phaeton actually went out to Spartanburg County to survey some of the damage that we've seen with these thunderstorms. Ted, what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, Kendra, we're out in Sweetwater Hill right now. There's no power in the neighborhood, and we did see hot and humid conditions throughout the day. Really made for a soupy atmosphere, and right around 3 o'clock this afternoon, that soup hit its boiling point, bringing thunderstorms, heavy rain, some damaging winds, as well as hail. Just take a look behind me at some of the damage that we see over here. This downed tree leaning on the front of this house, really pressing it up against the whole entire front, really restricting any entry from the front. You need to go around back to get inside. Just across the street from me, there's another tree that was just snapped like a toothpick in 3 different directions, and we've seen a lot of other damage here as well, and people over here tell me they haven't seen damage like this for quite some time.
I watched my lawn chairs fly across the deck and my table and my umbrella fly across the deck, so I was afraid they were going to come through the window, the lawn furniture. So
Now, other damage seen included bent gutters. We did see toppled over lawn furniture, as well as a bent over trampoline. We were also told that just last month we saw a large hailstorm in the same neighborhood that destroyed many roofs across the area. So after dealing with all that a month ago, today they dealt with these conditions. So not the ideal situation for the people here in Sweetwater Mill, but hopefully in the days ahead they can get their power back and begin doing their cleanup. We're live and local in Spartanburg County. Ted Phaeton, Fox Carolina News Tonight.
Thanks, Ted. Also tonight, a 911 dispatcher took a call he'll never forget, that his own house was on fire.
Right, it's believed to be caused by lightning, and here's the home right here on Lake Forest Drive. It's in Duncan, another hard-hit area through there. You can see it was burned on the outside, and we're told there was quite a bit of damage on the inside, too. Firefighters were there on scene. We know that the Red Cross has stepped in and is helping out that family.
Well, new tonight, remembering this guy. Remember him? Malden police say he hit up gas stations in the middle of the night with a plastic bag over his head. Tonight, police tell us James Stevenson is the man in those pictures, and he is now in jail accused of stealing thousands of dollars worth of cigarettes. Now, granted, the pictures weren't exactly clear.
Right. So how were they able to track down their suspect in this case? Well, Fox Carolina's Derek Dellinger is live in our newsroom tonight with the rest of the story. Derek?
Yeah, we're talking hundreds of cartons of cigarettes here worth thousands of dollars. Police say some valuable tips in paying attention to that video led to Stevenson's arrest. Police in Malden have been wanting to know for a while who was the man in the plastic bag caught on security camera stealing cigarettes in the middle of the night.
His actions that day at the convenience store combined with his history of activities, we were able to figure out that he was the one behind this.
Police now say he's James Stevenson, a man with a criminal past that includes a history of drugs and shoplifting. It now includes a series of burglaries at 6 businesses. Kellett's Corner on North Main was hit 3 separate times.
It wasn't funny to me at all. With a plastic bag on his head makes it even harder to, for us to ID him.
Police say they were able to track him down based on a couple of things: tips and paying close attention to his movements.
We had the videos, of course, with him indoors running or moving in a way that we could determine that's a small piece of it, small part of it, but it was evidentiary in value to us.
Police say they found Stevenson with some of the very plastic bags that he used in the robberies. They say he's homeless and was likely trading the cigarettes for cash. The businesses hit hope this is the end.
Especially with it being in town right here on Main Street. We just want to, like I said again, we just want to make sure that they've got the right guy and that they've got all of them if there's multiple ones involved.
Police say they understand his need to support himself, but
you get it, but it's still a crime.
It's still a crime. That's correct.
Now Stevenson faces 9 charges in relation to the Malden burglaries. He's also facing charges in Greenville County on another case. He's still in jail tonight. We did the math on all the charges that he's facing. He's got a $135,000 bond. Live in the newsroom, Derek Dunlage, your Fox Carolina News Tonight.
Thanks, Derek. New tonight, a Belton woman is accused of abusing animals after numerous dead and sick cats were found inside her home. This is Julianne Westbury. She's charged with 2 counts of ill treatment of animals. Police say they got a call about a foul smell outside Westbury's home on Wednesday, and we could see many flies in the windows tonight when we went by her home. Once inside on Wednesday, the chief says his officers found dead cats in various stages of decomposition. There were also numerous other cats inside. Anderson County Paws has the cats right now, and we're told they're being treated for various illnesses. Police say more charges may be forthcoming.
We have some new information tonight. With an Islamist militant group taking control over several major cities in Iraq, President Obama announced who he's sending to that country and who he is not. The president said Iraqi leaders must solve their country's problems and that the U.S. cannot do so by sending in tens of thousands of troops. The president did commit to sending some advisors to support and train Iraqi security forces.
We're prepared to send a small number of additional American military advisors, up to 300. We will be prepared to take targeted and precise military action if and when we determine that the situation on the ground requires it.
Some congressional Republicans are urging the president to launch airstrikes to weaken the militants. A new online video believed to be from a Moroccan Sunni cleric calls for attacks on U.S. embassies worldwide if the United States carries out airstrikes in Iraq. Well, something on a lot of your minds tonight is the weather, and it was scary for many parts of our area.
And a lot of times we talk about those high winds, but tonight it seemed like the lightning caused a lot of damage, Kendra.
Yeah, lightning a big issue, and it happens a lot on these very hot days. We got into the mid to upper 90s, expecting more of the same tomorrow. At least things are getting better at Furman. We're already down into the upper 60s. I've got that forecast coming up.
All right, well, only on Fox, look at this happy face. The upstate boy who got to thank the woman who made his new wheelchair possible.
And a South Carolina hero. Look at him right there. He was awarded the Medal of Honor for his bravery in Iraq.
Plus, charged with murder. What this dad's accused of doing on a hot day that left his toddler dead.
All new. Today, President Obama presented William Kyle Carpenter, a veteran and University of South Carolina Gamecock, the Medal of Honor. Carpenter is only the 8th living Iraqi war veteran to ever receive the award.
In 2010, he threw himself on a grenade to protect a fellow Marine.
Corporal William Kyle Carpenter should not be alive today.
Kyle Carpenter beat the odds.
Hand grenades are one of the most awful weapons of war. They only weigh about a pound, but they're packed with TNT.
In 2010, while fighting the Taliban in Iraq, Corporal Carpenter jumped on a live grenade to protect his comrade.
We are here because this man, this United States Marine, faced down that terrible explosive power, that unforgiving force, with his own body, willingly and deliberately, to protect a fellow Marine.
Carpenter was briefly declared dead, but fought back. He lost his right eye, suffered a skull fracture, and punctured a lung, and lost most of his jaw. But close to 40 surgeries and 4 years later, he stood today to accept the nation's highest military honor, the Medal of Honor.
I think about the Marines who were with me in Marja. If I close my eyes today, I can still hear their desperate medevacs being called over the radio as they bled out in the fields of Afghanistan. Today I accept the medal for them. I will wear it for every person that makes up our great and blessed nation. I will wear it for those who have been wounded on distant lands but still continue to fight and battle through long and difficult days of recovery here at home. And to those who have given all, and their families, I could never express in words what you mean to this nation that you so selflessly and courageously gave for. Freedom is a powerful and beautiful thing. Be thankful for what you have. Appreciate the small and simple things. Be kind and help others. Let the ones you love know you love them. And when things get tough, trust there's a bigger plan and that you will be stronger for it.
Some very wise words there tonight. Since the grenade accident, Carpenter has run a marathon, gone skydiving, and as we mentioned a moment ago, he's living in Columbia now and attending USC.
We have some video tonight you'll see only on Fox. This is Kyle Lida. Investigators with the Greenville County Sheriff's Office say he's the man behind a scam that hustled several people out of their money. And this is not too long ago as he faced a judge during a bond hearing. Well, tonight he's charged with 3 counts of obtaining money under false pretenses. Investigators say before his bond hearing, he went to a hospital to get treated for a burn on his leg, which they say he got from his motorcycle pipe after he and a deputy collided. Investigators say they found out about this Craigslist scam after several victims started filing complaints.
Our own Jennifer Phillips is live outside the Greenville County Jail where a judge just set his bond. Jen, what's the latest?
Yeah, a judge set Lida's bail at $30,000. Right now, investigators say they have 3 victims in this case. They say a couple of them did not even live in this area and actually drove to the upstate because they thought they were going to get a good deal. And now investigators say there could be more victims. If you hop on Craigslist, customers say you usually find exactly what you're looking for.
Definitely a good place for deals. You find everything cheaper there.
Daniel Urich should know. He just handed over some major cash.
I actually bought a car a few days ago off of Craigslist.
He considers himself a smart shopper.
Hey, we've seen a bunch of police.
But didn't seem to know of what police call a Craigslist scam.
There was another cop over here
taking place just feet away from this Walmart parking lot off Whitehorse Road in Greenville County.
There was a bike underneath his car.
Police say the man who once hopped on this motorcycle is Kyle Lida.
Trying to take innocent people's money, that ain't right.
Deputies say Lida posted a Craigslist ad for a 2007 Honda CBR 600, similar to this one.
In this instance, before he would let him take a test ride, he was asking for the money in hand.
Jonathan Smith is with the Greenville County Sheriff's Office.
They would go for a test ride, come back, he would get on the motorcycle and then just take off.
Deputies heard about the scam and set up a sting to meet Lida.
Our investigator pulls in behind him, they end up in a collision.
Daniel Urich admits this could happen to him.
If I was in that situation, I wouldn't even know what to do. It would be terrible.
A high price to pay for what looks like a good deal.
But it is scary.
Now, investigators with Highway Patrol are looking into the wreck involving Lida and the deputy. As far as the case, investigators say Lida posted that ad for the bike for $2,500. We looked it up. The value of that motorcycle is actually about $5,400. So investigators say that's part of his hook to lure victims. Coming up later in the newscast, some tips that could help you. Live in Greenville, Jennifer Phillips, Fox Carolina News Tonight.
Jen, thanks. Developing tonight to our south, a Georgia father who police say left his toddler son in the back seat of a hot SUV. Well, he's charged with murder. Police in Cobb County say Justin Harris was supposed to drop his 22-month-old son at a daycare center yesterday. Instead, he went on to work, apparently forgetting the child was still strapped in his car seat. Temperatures reached into the 90s. Officers say when Harris left work, he noticed his son in the back and tried to perform CPR, but the little boy was dead. Harris is being held without bond on charges of murder and cruelty to children. And we wanted to go in depth tonight on this hot weather safety issue. Temperatures in Atlanta topped 90 degrees Wednesday afternoon, but temperatures inside a hot car could go as high as 130 to 140 degrees in just a couple of hours' time. We checked it out here in the upstate and measured the temps inside cars today. And we also caught up with the local pediatrician who tells us that children left in a hot car for as little as a half hour, just 30 minutes, could suffer from heat stroke.
You know, you get symptoms of dizziness, disorientation, agitation, confusion, sluggishness, seizures, loss of consciousness, or even death.
And the doctor there says exhaustion and heat stroke can happen very, very quickly. And it goes for not only people, small children, also for animals too. It is important to make a habit of checking your car before you lock it. A good idea, really something to keep in mind. Put your purse or a briefcase in the back seat so you're forced to take a look before leaving the car. I'll tell you, it's so sad when you think about, how quickly it can get hot, and I don't think people always realize that. And then you have cases like this of people forgetting or kind of being a little off on their schedule and forgetting their child in the back seat.
And it's sad it takes incidents like this to make everybody aware of it. But Kendra, today this could have easily happened here in the upstate if a child or an animal would have been left in a car.
Oh, guys, it's just heartbreaking. And not only did we have dangerous heat, but we had thunderstorms that popped up because of that heat. And we had some trees down, power lines down. Nikki sent this to us on Facebook of that tree near her trampoline over a power line. And this one sent in from one of our photographers in Reedville as the trees were knocking over power lines, causing some of you to lose power briefly. Some of you still not having it tonight. But the good news is that our storm chance is actually going to go down just a little bit tomorrow. We'll still see a few pop-up storms. Temperature of around 70 across the upstate early on. Mild and muggy like it has been the last few mornings, and some patchy fog to contend with. 62 across the mountains, some patchy fog, so a fairly refreshing start, but the heat cranks back up. You can always go to foxcarolina.com to check temperatures in your area before you head out, and you can use the interactive radar too to see where those storms are starting to pop up. So obviously we're going to take this heat very seriously the next few days. Guys, we got to 97 in parts of the upstate today, and we could get right up there again tomorrow.
Wow, it is hot out there.
Feels like July and August already.
I know. Summer doesn't officially start till Saturday.
Isn't that something? I mean, it's not even officially summer yet.
No.
It's going to be a hot one this summer.
I think so. All right, well, still to come tonight, talking about bringing back Christian prayer.
The Pickens County School Board wants ministers to open their meetings, but there would be a catch. We'll explain.
And a North Carolina family, they are downright angry after a hotel refused their reservation because of that service dog. We'll tell you what happened.
Hi there, I'm Lauren Elise.
And I'm Nicole Pape. It is not yet summertime until Saturday, but it's been feeling like it all week. I'll let you know if that continues for Friday.
And if you love planes, you'll want to be in Greenwood this week, and we'll tell you why. Joe Gagnon will be live there. Plus, it's Friday, so Friday Dance Party. Have a great night, and we'll see you bright and early on the Morning News.
Welcome back. New tonight, there's controversy in Louisiana after a Best Western cancels a family's reservation because they refused her son's service dog.
Right, there's a law allowing service dogs in all facilities, but a Best Western in Baton Rouge said no to Chip, a golden retriever trained to alert if his 13-year-old owner has a seizure. The North Carolina boy has a rare form of epilepsy, and his mom says out of courtesy, she always calls ahead and tells the hotel they have a service dog, but she wasn't expecting what happened a couple of days after that courtesy call.
We got an email saying due to unforeseen circumstances, they would not be able to honor our reservation. And working through that, we found out that they said, oh, well, you're bringing a pet with you, and that Best Western isn't pet friendly.
Best Western Corporation, they did call that family and they offered to honor the reservation days later, but the mom had already booked at another hotel. As for Best Western, they released a statement saying they've restricted the hotel from using the Best Western name, and the future association with the brand is yet to be determined. So the company's taken it very seriously. We made this the topic of tonight's Fox Fuss. We wanted to put this up on Facebook and see what you thought about it.
And Lisa wrote, quote, "Too many of these stories lately, and it's sad. There are laws that are put into place to protect people with service dogs, They are allowed anywhere, even eateries, as long as the dog is not causing a problem, right?
And Angela says, quote, flip side to all of the comments here, but my kids and I suffer from horrendous allergies. If you put us in the same room the following night, I can expect a trip to the ER.
Well, remember, you can email us anytime at the Fox Fuss at foxcarolina.com or find us on Facebook under Fox Carolina News, or head to foxcarolina.com. That's what Diana's doing right now. She's web live. Scroll down to the homepage and you'll see a Submit a Fox Fuss. Just click on that form and fill it out, and we'll get your comments that way as well.
All right, so a lot of interesting comments. I'd love to hear what more people think about
But
it.
at the end of the day, there is a law out there that
Right.
does grant these dogs in all facilities as long as they're not causing a huge problem.
Yeah, and the fact that, the family, and they call them back and they kind of cancel the reservation, it seems like they were kind of trying to go around it a little bit. But it sounds like Best Western is not taking it lightly.
Definitely.
All right, well, still to come. New tonight, serious allegations against Bob Jones University.
The school is responding after an article was released saying 5 rape victims were told by the school to repent.
Plus, who could forget this little smile right here? And look at those eyes. What a cutie. Tonight, a heartwarming update on baby Wyatt, one of the youngest kids ever to use his own wheelchair.
And Kendra, we saw those hot temperatures and storms that we've seen all week. Can we expect it again tomorrow?
Yeah, it looks like we're in a little bit of a pattern, and we'll talk about when that might break coming up.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news with Diana Watson, Cody Alcorn, and meteorologist Kendra Kent.
Welcome back. Look at that face. Baby Wyatt continues to touch people's hearts, and he has a new gift to keep him rolling. We've kept you updated on the Greenwood toddler, who is battling a very rare condition, but he is all smiles.
He really is, and he doesn't have the use of his legs. And today we were there as he got the chance to show off his new wheelchair to the woman whose ministry made it all possible. At the Greenville Lifeway Christian store, a special reunion is about to happen. Check out baby Wyatt rolling his way into the store, past the sign for a woman who's made a big impact on his life.
It's amazing. It's been a real blessing. We haven't seen her since we got the wheelchair.
She's talking about Heather Gray. Heather and Wyatt's mom grew up together and saw each other at their high school reunion. That's where Heather met Wyatt, diagnosed with a rare neurological condition called transverse myelitis.
If you've ever met Wyatt, you know that he has this infectious spirit that just lights up the room.
Heather wrote the book Faith, Hope, Love, and Deployment. She struggled to finish it after her husband, who was in the Air Force, was killed in combat. And in his honor, she started Finish Strong Ministries.
I met Wyatt, and I was just immediately drawn to this little boy and how, he had no idea that he was not just like every other child his age, and he just wanted so badly to run this race that was in his life.
She felt that Wyatt embodied the strength and determination of her ministry. So money was raised for this shiny new wheelchair, complete with an Eat My Dust sticker on the back.
The amazing thing about the chair that Heather bought is it's so light. That chair gives him so much more freedom than the heavier chairs get. He can push it without a lot of effort,
allowing him to be a little boy.
Give me a big hug. Oh, yay!
That, like Heather's ministry, finishes strong.
Thank you. That's the only words I can do, is that they are a blessing. And it's amazing how God uses a tragedy to turn it into something beautiful.
And Wyatt's family focuses on what he can do, on helping him to build up his strength. This summer, he'll spend 4 weeks at the Shriners Hospital in Philadelphia working on intense physical therapy. And for more information on Finish Strong Ministries, find a link. It's in the As Seen On section of our website, foxcarolina.com.
We have new information. The new state texting and driving ban is in effect, and it overrides Greenville's recently enacted distracted driving ban. So what does that mean for people who have already been ticketed for distracted driving? Greenville police say they are standing by their tickets, but one upstate attorney says odds are most of those tickets will be dismissed. Greenville lawyer Grant Varner says a court will often have a hard time convicting a person of something that is no longer a crime.
Developing tonight, Bob Jones University is responding to an Al Jazeera report that alleges the school told 5 sex assault victims to look for their root sin that brought on their rape. In the online article published June 18th, Al Jazeera said they talked to 5 former students, and it says those students claimed that through the language of scripture, they were told their sins had brought on rape, that their trauma meant they were fighting God, and that healing came from forgiving their rapists. Bob Jones released this statement that says, quote, caring for our students and alumni is of utmost concern. Rape, abuse, and neglect are not the fault of any victim. Those who perpetuate these horrific crimes bear full responsibility for their actions and should be prosecuted. Believing that all forms of abuse and neglect are abhorrent, Bob Jones University embarked on a program in 2011 to review and improve our response to students who report abuse. In subsequent months, we have updated policies, implemented awareness training, appointed a full-time abuse counselor, and appointed an ombudsman to review our policies and past responses to reports of abuse. It is our desire to continue to serve and improve our care for the hurting and abused, end quote.
In our most wanted, Greenville County deputies identified the guy accused of holding up a gas station. Now they're trying to find Wayne Gary. There's a look at him. The sheriff's office says he robbed the 7-Eleven on Wade Hampton Boulevard last month. No one was hurt. If you know where Gary is right now, call Crime Stoppers at 23 Crime. Also in Greenville County, the sheriff's office is trying to find a guy accused of stealing a trailer. Here's a look at Robert Henderson Jr. Deputies say he stole the trailer full of tools from a home, then later pawned it off. The trailer was taken from Poinsett Highway. It's an H&H 16-foot enclosed trailer and has a faded Advanced Concrete Company logo on both sides. If you see it or Robert Henderson Jr., call 23 Crime.
We're following up tonight on a search for a guy who exposed himself to a child. Anderson County deputies say they've gotten in a lot of tips, but so far they haven't been able to make a positive ID. So take a look at this sketch right here. Both the victims and deputies believe that they were both involved in making the sketch, and they say the incident happened early Sunday morning along Singleton Drive in Townville. Deputies say the suspect was standing outside the victim's home when he flashed the child. Another family member saw the whole thing and helped to provide this sketch. If you recognize the person in this drawing, call Crime Stoppers.
A Spartanburg woman is recovering after being shot early this morning. The sheriff's office says the victim was hit by gunfire in the 300 block of Monks Grove Church Road. The woman underwent surgery and is expected to be okay. As of tonight, no one has been arrested. If you know anything about this shooting, call Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-888-CRIME-SC.
An upstate teen is accused of killing his grandfather, and he'll be back in court coming up in the fall. 16-year-old Zachary Wilkins is being charged as an adult with murder and attempted murder. He's a student at Riverside High, and Greer police say he fatally stabbed his grandfather and wounded his grandmother in their home over the weekend. His grandfather was Dr. Thomas Wilkins. The grandmother is recovering. No word from police on what led up to that violence.
New tonight, 2 people are recovering after a head-on crash in Inman. Initial reports indicated two vehicles, I should say, hit head-on, and check out the scene. One apparently landed on top of the other. This happened at the intersection of Compton Bridge Road and Turpin Road. Firefighters had to cut at least one person out. We're working to get more information right now from the Highway Patrol. Well, hundreds showed up to support an upstate firefighter who was hurt in a plane crash. We're talking about Patrick Schultz. We talked a lot about him. He was a pilot and a Pelham-Batesville firefighter, and his plane went down last month in Florida, killing his mother, aunt, and teenage nephew. Well, today, the Pelham-Batesville Fire Department served a lunch in honor of Schultz. They served hamburgers and hot dogs for $5 a plate, and we know they sold at least 500 of those plates. We caught up with one firefighter who tells us what this day meant to them.
It definitely fills your heart with joy to see that people can come together to help another one in need. It's nice to see the community get together, the fire service community get together, and all of us pull together to pull this off in the short amount of time that we had to do it.
Tonight, Schultz is at the Augusta Burn Center. He has burns to 30% of his body. We're told he is making progress, though, but has a long ways to go.
Well, we are talking about Go Red, and that was the message today at an American Heart Association luncheon in Spartanburg. There was a large crowd at the downtown Marriott, and that's where women were encouraged to be heart healthy, to know the warning signs of heart attacks, and to support efforts to improve research for heart disease. I was there as the MC, proud to do it, and was surprised myself to hear that 90% of all women have at least one risk factor for heart disease.
Knowing the signs and being aware of the signs allows you to notice them within your own body, as well as when you're out and about and you're talking to your friends and other ladies to make them aware.
And this is the second year the Go Red Luncheon has been held in Spartanburg. Go Red is a national movement that's been going on for a decade now. It's an effort to spread the word about the #1 killer of women and to reduce the number of deaths.
On the Fox Carolina Money Watch, jobs are up for grabs at BMW. MAU is hiring production associates. They're actually extending the hours. MAU is looking not only for production associates, but also some forklift operators. The salary is between $15 and $16. You can apply tomorrow until 8 p.m. and next week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. They'll be open until 8 as well. You must undergo a background check and drug screening.
Well, bridges across the upstate are the first of 90 bridges to be rebuilt in South Carolina using a new budget approved by the General Assembly. A bridge in Oconee County on Bountyland Road will be fixed, along with 3 others in Pickens County. The repairs will be paid through state and federal dollars. Well, happening tomorrow, if you're looking to adopt a cat or a kitten, well, you'll want to join us tomorrow at Greenville County Animal Care for the Community Cat Challenge. We'll be out there live tomorrow morning on The Morning News, and basically our goal is to adopt out 100 cats in just 24 hours. We will be out there all afternoon, and we'll also have an update on the 10 o'clock news tomorrow night as well. So here is the full schedule of events. You'll definitely want to head out. It's tomorrow and Saturday. It runs from noon to 7 and then Saturday from 11 to 6. The adoption fee will only be $15, but that can be waived if anybody brings in a case of canned cat or dog food. So if you're looking for a cat or a kitten to adopt, definitely head out to Greenville Animal Care tomorrow and Saturday.
A local swimming league celebrates their 50th anniversary of competitive swimming in the upstate. The Swim Association Invitational League, or SEL, has kept organized swim meets going in the Greenville County area for decades. One of the founding teams is the Stone Lake Stingrays. They have more than 240 swimmers on the team, and the president says the most gratifying thing to her is simply watching kids learn and have fun every summer.
We have so many members. We have 330 members, family members, and a waiting list, and lots of young kids joining the team, and it's just been a wonderful thing.
The anniversary meet brought out some swimmers from the first teams back in 1964 and had a guppy parade of some of the smallest swimmers. As you can tell, they're pretty cute. Probably wore out though after a day of swimming.
I bet they were. And I know a lot of swim meets actually got rained out tonight because of those thunderstorms rolling in. So lucky they got theirs in for sure.
Yeah, definitely. There's pop-up storms in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, causing problems. All right, well, should kids under 12 be able to use BB guns?
Well, lawmakers in our area say yes, and it's causing controversy on both sides.
And a lot of kids struggle with ADHD, but when should you start treating toddlers? Why some say the earlier the better. Plus,
they bit my right knee and behind my left thigh.
A traffic stop nightmare after 2 dogs viciously attacked officers. How they're able to get away, and it was all caught on camera.
And 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, probably the best time for you to get out and do anything outdoors. Will be in the 60s in western North Carolina, around 70 across the upstate. I'll show you just how hot temperatures will get during the afternoon next.
we are covering the Carolinas tonight, and a South Carolina woman is dead. And tonight, police say her husband admitted to the crime along with their 23-year-old son.
Marion and Cody Wilkes of West Columbia are charged with murder after they led police to her body. Susan Wilkes disappeared last week. Police say the suspects kept her body in their garage for a few days before they decided to get rid of it. Her body was later found on a 2-acre plot of land in Little Mountain. An autopsy shows the woman was stabbed in the chest. Investigators say they were fighting over finances.
The gunman charged in a shooting that left a USC freshman paralyzed will be in court tomorrow. Michael Smith pleaded guilty in February to a gun charge, and he'll be sentenced in federal court for being a felon in possession of a weapon. His trial for attempted murder in state court is still pending. You may remember the 5-point shooting that struck Greenville native Martha Childress last fall. She was a freshman at USC waiting for a taxi with a friend when a stray bullet hit her. Martha is now paralyzed from the waist down.
Well, medical marijuana is one step closer to becoming legal in North Carolina. The House has approved use of medicinal oil made from marijuana plants to treat people with epilepsy. The bill would also prohibit doctors from being prosecuted for dispensing the medicine and would direct universities to research it. The bill now heads to the Senate.
South Carolina State University is on probation for the next 12 months for failing to comply with several core requirements. The South Carolina Association of Colleges and Schools placed the Orangeburg College on probation, effective immediately, for issues dealing with financial resources and administrative and academic officers, as well as Title IX responsibilities. The university will receive a formal letter coming up on July 9th with the outline of the findings. Well, a new law aimed at removing the current ban on BB and airsoft guns for kids 12 and under is causing some major controversy in North Carolina.
Yeah, Mecklenburg County is one of 17 counties that classify airsoft and BB guns as dangerous weapons, meaning children under 12 can't use them unsupervised. But a bill in Raleigh is trying to change that, and not everyone is seeing eye to eye.
I don't think they should be able to use them unsupervised because they can be dangerous if you're not wearing eye protection or face protection.
It allows the parents to express more trust with their children in hopes that they can handle this more maturely, as well as I would hope that it would allow them to exercise more gun safety from what their parents should have taught them.
The counties included are Anson, Cleveland, Harnett, Stanley, and Surry counties.
Developing tonight, the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, is monitoring approximately 75 people at its Atlanta center for possible exposure to anthrax. Early reports show that a lab did not adequately inactivate some anthrax samples, and the product was then moved and used for experiments in 3 labs not equipped to handle live anthrax. The agency says the workers are being monitored or provided antibiotics, and officials at the CDC say the risk of infection is relatively low.
New information, this is something we've been talking about a lot this week. While all toddlers may exhibit some symptoms of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, some are getting diagnosed with the condition at an early age. Donna Mack is a clinical therapist and author of the book Toddlers and ADHD Relief for Parents, a guide for clinicians and teachers. And she says the diagnosis can be a lot for parents to handle, but once you start them on the road to treatment, it will help immensely. Now, we stopped by Parkside Pediatrics here in Greenville to talk with a pediatrician who addresses this actual book.
Child with ADHD, these kids are literally plowing through everything and every person at a constant high pace. You know, no time for meals, no time for naps. They're just go, 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 go. And so it is possible to diagnose it at a younger age.
It was once thought ADHD could not be diagnosed until a child was at least 6 years old, but now both the National Institute of Mental Health and the American Academy of Pediatrics have noted recent studies that disprove that theory.
All right, let's talk some weather. And those afternoon storms, wow, they can really pack a punch, and they sure did today. They're bringing through some high winds that knock down trees, even power lines in some cases. This is the area near Furman University. You can see a tree down right there and sort of those wires tangled in there and cones in the way as well. This is on Duncan Chapel Road, so very close to campus there. And Kendra, definitely strong storms that move through, and I guess it depended on where you live, because I was talking to some friends in the Moore area who said they had tons of big limbs down in their yard.
Yeah, June is definitely our stormiest month. I mean, we tend to get more pop-up storms. Storms are stronger. We see the most hail in June of any other month of the year. Yeah. And we definitely saw our share of the rough storms. The good news with the storms, it actually took temperatures from the 90s to the 60s at Furman University very quickly.
Isn't that something?
That's one silver lining to those things bubbling up. We actually have some video or a tower cam time lapse of the storms as they were rolling through Greenville, or at least the east side of town. We kind of got a view of it from a distance. I don't think the station really saw a drop of rain, or it was just a little tiny bit, but we were focused on those storms off in the distance that were really just scattered all about the upstate, and you could see those clouds build, and then boy, they came down fast, bringing the heavy rain, the lightning, and in some cases damaging wind. Even saw some quarter-sized hail out of it. So not such a pretty evening commute for many of you, but once the sun was going down and those storms cleared out, boy, it was gorgeous. This Belton sunset sent in from Julie Davis, and it was just, kind of a mix of those clouds in there trying to obscure the sunset, but it actually made it even prettier. So thanks to Julie for sending that in. You can tag us on Facebook, or you can email me weather pictures, weather@foxcarolina.com. So for Friday's storms, once again, we'll be really watching the skies after 2 o'clock. If you're taking the kids to the pool or doing anything outside in the afternoon, you just want to keep your eye to the sky. You can always check Fox Carolina on your mobile device and see where those storms are located, if you can maybe hear the thunder and wondering if it's heading your way. Heavy rain and lightning will be the most likely threats. Severe thunderstorm threat will be a bit lower tomorrow, but I still think we could have a couple of storms that produce those damaging winds. And right now at Furman, I mentioned how we cooled down fast. We've been in the upper 60s around Furman for the last few hours, thanks to those showers and storms that rolled through. Elsewhere in the upstate, though, we're still holding on to some pretty warm temperatures. I'll show you those in a second. But it's actually still raining in some areas, very lightly, but seeing a little light rain right now in Lawrence as well as Greenwood County, just kind of speckled about. But in general, we've pretty much cleared out when it came to the rain, but storms will reignite tomorrow. 67 the current temperature in Asheville. We're at 76 in Lawrence, 77 for Anderson, 71 right now in Toccoa, and we're at 76 for Clemson, 72 in Newberry, where we had a very strong thunderstorm just a couple of hours ago. Right now looking at 76 in Abbeville, 77 in Anderson, 68 in Travelers Rest, where there was a rough storm earlier, 67 for Pickens, and we're at 70 in Blacksburg. Some heavy rain fell for many of you around Cherokee and Union counties for about an hour and a half there. You may have seen some localized flooding in your area. 7 a.m. tomorrow, no need to worry about storms as it looks now. We could see a few light showers in the northern mountains, but as it looks in the morning, we should be mostly clear. But heading toward the lunch hour and early afternoon, we'll start to see those storms develop again. So by 2 p.m., starting to even make it into the upstate, but the mountains will see the activity first. 2 p.m., scattered showers and thunderstorms, and then on into the late afternoon, a few storms lingering in the upstate. This is when we'll have the best chance in the lower elevations, about 4 p.m. And then on into the evening, a couple lingering showers, but we'll notice the drying process beginning about 7 p.m. on Friday, and then we should be mostly clear by 10 p.m. So stepping through tomorrow, we'll start at 70 in the upstate, get to 95 by 5 o'clock. So another very hot day, 87 by the end of the day across the mountains. And let's take a look at some of your communities out there. So 95 in Clennon, 94 in Boiling Springs, 95 for Malden. We'll be looking at mid-90s for elsewhere like 94 in Hartwell, 95 in Pickens, and in western North Carolina, 87 for Waynesville, 87 in Bryson City. Next 7 days, 96 will be the official high for the upstate tomorrow, but we'll see a little variety, and we'll see temperatures go down slightly as we head through the weekend and early next week, but it'll still be hot with a high of 89 Monday and Tuesday. And notice storm chances every single day go up just a bit for Sunday, and then it looks like Tuesday we could see about a 50% chance for rain. Of course, you'll want to tune in on the morning news. Meteorologist Nicole Pape will be setting you up for the weekend forecast. And now it is time for one of my favorite times of the week, Fox's Four-Legged Friends, and I chose Haven this week, and that is a very appropriate name for her because she got a safe haven with Critter Connection. She's a 3-year-old bull terrier mix who was about to be put down before Critter Connection scooped her up. We had so much fun here. She is house trained, great with cats and other dogs, loves to snuggle, and generally just has a new lease on life. And I chose her because I want her to have a wonderful future after such an uncertain beginning. And for more information on Haven, just head to foxcarolina.com. Under our community section, you can find Fox's Four-Legged Friends and get information on how you could adopt this sweet girl.
I hope Haven gets a home.
I know if Jeannie needed a girlfriend, she would be perfect. But,
yeah.
He's enough right now for me.
You've got your hands full.
He fills my bed up just enough, so don't need another snuggle party.
That's all right. All right, well, still to come tonight, scared off by a woman with a back scratcher.
What this woman did, wait for it, it's coming up.
And Harley Davidson jumping in on the eco-friendly bandwagon. We'll tell you what they're doing with this new bike.
Welcome back. New tonight, one crook didn't know what was coming to him when he broke into a home and the woman inside had a back scratcher. and a wrench to fight him off.
She was armed. That's right. Her name is Patty Kearney, and she has lung cancer. There she is. She's on oxygen, but it didn't stop her from fighting back on Monday night when she and her husband heard a crash in their back room. Kearney says her husband went to check it out, and that's when things got tense.
Guy had a Jason mask, hockey mask on, and I almost started laughing. I was going to go out there and ask him what was going on, and I saw him backing up out of the back porch with his hands in the air saying, "Please don't hurt us."
Yeah, Kearney says she soon realized the crook didn't have a gun, so she took action, and she whacked him with that back scratcher until he dropped a wrench that he had. So it was, I guess, back scratcher versus a wrench. That's when she picked it up and hit him so many times that he ran away. Kearney says she's proud she was able to defend her home.
All right, caught on camera. This is why we never call a traffic stop routine. 3 vicious dogs, or several, I should say, attack an officer. And check out the dash cam video that shows it. The officer here, they're walking over to pick up a truck there when 3 dogs began circling them. The woman inside the car first got out to speak with the officers because they couldn't understand her. But that's when the pups rushed over to protect her, and officers, well, fortunately, they were thinking very quickly.
Just kind of a quick thought just to get some separation from the dogs, get some distance in between so I didn't keep getting bit.
You know, we ask people, if you do have dogs that could be aggressive, to let us know right off the bat.
The officers were bit, but they're doing all right tonight. The dog's owner was cited by animal control, but the Stewart Police Department says there is no formal training for incidents like this one. And again, that's why there's never a routine traffic stop for police.
Yeah, definitely not. All right, well, still to come, Christian prayers and school board meetings. Do the two mix?
It's what people in Pickens County are trying to figure out, and they're turning to a city in New York for guidance.
And these guys out of Florida thought everyone would love seeing them mess with some manatees. Well, they were certainly wrong about this. No one is laughing, and they're in trouble. More ahead.
Welcome back. We have some damage across the upstate from those pop-up thunderstorms this afternoon. Check this out in Spartanburg County. A lot of this was happening. Trees just split in two by those winds, or if not lightning. The good news, though, nobody was hurt tonight, Diana.
That's right, but with the wind and the rain came lightning, and that led to some fires. Check out this home on Lake Forest Drive in Duncan. Turns out the home belongs to a 911 dispatcher, the same dispatcher who actually took the emergency call. We're told the damage spread inside the home as well.
And this is a pattern we've really been seeing all week. Those hot temperatures in the afternoon and these storms pop up, and Kendra's been warning us every day about it.
That's right. Kendra joins us right now, and more of the same tomorrow, possibly, Kendra?
Yeah, once again, after about 2 o'clock, we'll really be watching for those pop-up storms during the heat of the day. And yes, that big time heat's back to tomorrow. Let's take a look at Fox Radar 3D, where we're just seeing a few lingering light showers, mainly in southern Greenville and portions of Lawrence County. But the rain really on the downswing tonight. It will pick back up during the afternoon. Heavy rain and lightning will be the main threats with these storms that develop tomorrow, but you can't rule out a few being strong, possibly with that damaging wind or even some hail. I want to show you how hot it got today. 97 in Spartanburg, Toccoa. Officially at GSP, we got to 95 in Greenville, and we could rival that tomorrow, guys. So I will talk about it coming up, but of course you can always go to foxcarolina.com and check out our interactive radar, as well as get a look at temperatures too before you step out the door, because that makes a big difference on how you're going to dress.
All right, Kendra, we'll see you back here in a few minutes. Video you will see only on Fox, and here it is. Investigators say that guy, Kyle Lida, is behind a scheme that swindled several people out of their money. Lida faced a judge not too long ago after deputies charged him with 3 counts of obtaining money under false pretenses. Investigators say he used Craigslist to lure his victims. And now investigators believe there could be more victims related to this case. Our own Jennifer Phillips has been following this story. She's live outside the jail where Lida is locked up right now in Greenville. Jen?
A judge set Lida's bond at $30,000, and now investigators say his one-time Craigslist ad is now a part of evidence. Take a look. This is what the scene looked like earlier this afternoon near the Walmart parking lot off Whitehorse Road in Greenville County. Deputies say Lida posted an ad for a 2007 Honda CBR 600 similar to this one. They say he told customers he would sell this bike for $2,500, even though it was worth about $5,400. But deputies say when potential buyers would meet Lida, he would take their money and take off on the motorcycle. Deputies learned about this scam and set up a sting, but they say when Lyda saw them, he took off, and that's when he and a deputy wrecked. Investigators say here are some tips when shopping on sites like Craigslist.
Make sure that it is a public spot where there's going to be a lot of people. You don't want to meet in isolated areas. If you get there and you feel that something isn't right, in this instance, before he would let him take a test ride, he was asking for the money in hand. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, don't do it.
Lyda stood in front of a judge with a bandage around his leg. Deputies say he burned himself when his leg touched a pipe on his motorcycle during that collision with the deputy. And right now, we're told that investigators with Highway Patrol, they're investigating the wreck or the collision involved in this case. Investigators say if you know anything about this case or anyone who could potentially be a victim, call the Greenville County Sheriff's Office. Live in Greenville, Jennifer Phillips, Fox Carolina News Tonight.
Jen, thanks. Now to a developing story. An upstate mom is missing, and tomorrow a man considered a person of interest in her disappearance has a court date for a charge related to the investigation into her case. This is Gerald Howard, and in March he was accused of interfering with deputies when they issued a search warrant on his property while investigating the missing persons case. His attorney says Howard let them in after he got off work and then had to run back out to pick up his kids. Investigators say Howard was acting suspicious and nervous and questioned his actions and arrested him. Howard's former girlfriend and the mother of two of his kids was last seen in March. Deputies say Nicole Goodlett disappeared after dropping their kids off at Howard's parents' home in the Lowcountry. Investigators suspect foul play, but no suspect has been named. Well, tomorrow Howard's lawyer will be asking for a speedy trial on that interfering charge. Howard also has a DSS hearing next week to try and get his kids back in the upstate.
It is Simpsonville's largest LSD bust in more than 15 years, and police say they made the arrest thanks to a traffic stop. We're told a Vice, a narcotics officer, pulled a car over yesterday for driving suspiciously. That's when they noticed Austin Pereira in the back seat. They say he was reaching into his pockets, so they searched him and say they found marijuana and 350 hits of LSD and some psychedelic mushrooms as well. He's facing a lot of charges, including intent to distribute. Well, new tonight, a hospital in western North Carolina is currently moving its patients out of the facility after the air conditioning died. It's happening at Medwest Haywood, that's in Clyde, North Carolina. The hospital says some other air handling units malfunctioned today, so they're relocating their patients. There was also a small fire in their power room that was put out earlier tonight. The emergency department will stay open for walk-ins. We're told no one was hurt and there's no immediate danger.
New at 11, prayer before Pickens County School Board meetings. Well, that's what ministers, school board members, and concerned citizens discussed tonight. And right now they do say a prayer before the meetings, but it's a non-religious prayer, and they want that to change. Well, recently the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of having uncensored public prayer at meetings in a town outside Rochester, New York. Well, now some members of the school board want to know if that ruling can be applied to their meetings. And if so, it means any religion would be allowed to open meetings with a prayer.
But this gave us an opportunity with the Supreme Court ruling where you could actually invite a clergy in randomly from the community to give a prayer any way he feels is conscious. Any school board or town council or legislature that actually went to a moment of silence or went to no prayer at all, I think they made a mistake.
Well, the group plans to meet again to come up with a policy, which they'll then have the Attorney General look over. And once it's all put together, they'll present it to the Pickens County School Board for a vote.
Now to some new information. We're learning more about the upstate nurse killed in a wreck earlier this week. This is Michael Siders. The coroner tells us he was killed Tuesday night when his car hit a truck. He leaves behind a wife. The wreck happened on Liberty Highway. Here's a look at that scene. It's about 4 miles east of Pendleton. Troopers say his Honda crossed the center line and struck a Dodge truck. That truck driver was not hurt. We're told Siders was on his way home from his shift at Cannon Memorial Hospital where he worked in the ER. EMS workers there say Michael was always so nice to them and all the patients they brought in, even though some would consider just regulars.
New at 11, fans, friends, and family are mourning the loss of Grammy Award-winning artist Johnny Mann, who lived right here in the upstate. He did a lot of different things in his career, but is perhaps best known for being the singing voice for Theodore of Alvin and the Chipmunks. Listen in. Interesting, isn't it? We're told the 85-year-old actually died peacefully at his home in Anderson yesterday. And during his career, Mann arranged musical scores for several major movie companies and was even the choral director for NBC Comedy Hour. He is survived by his wife, and his funeral arrangements are still being made.
Today, a military hero from South Carolina received the Medal of Honor for his bravery in battle. This is Corporal William Kyle Carpenter. In 2010, he used his own body to shield fellow Marines from an enemy-launched grenade. He actually threw his body on that grenade. And today, he was in Washington, D.C. Here he is with President Obama, who presented him with the Medal of Honor. After getting the award, Carpenter said a few words and offered some very wise words.
Be thankful for what you have. Appreciate the small and simple things. Be kind and help others. Let the ones you love know you love them. And when things get tough, trust there's a bigger plan and that you will be stronger for it.
If any American seeks a model of the strength and resilience that define us as a people, including this newest 9/11 generation, I want you to consider Kyle.
Kyle Carpenter is now the 8th living recipient honored for his service in Afghanistan or Iraq. After he's done in Washington, he'll return home to the Midlands, where he's attending the University of South Carolina.
Well, tomorrow we're teaming up with Greenville County Animal Care to try to find homes for 100 cats. We're calling it the Cat Challenge, and we hope to adopt out 100 cats in just 24 hours. We'll be live out there tomorrow on The Morning News, and if you'd like to help out a cat, come this Friday, tomorrow, and Saturday too. On Friday it runs from noon till 7, and then on Saturday from 11 to 6. And to adopt one, you have to just donate a case of canned cat or dog food or pay $15.
All right, we have learned tonight that Ghost Town in the Sky in Maggie Valley, well, it is not opening tomorrow like it was supposed to. Apparently, they're having a little bit of water issue, so trying to get that fixed, and it's going to open July 4th.
All right, so good time of year for it to open, just in time for all the, travelers, summer travelers.
Yeah,
for sure.
they've got a lot going on. I was looking at their Facebook page, and
Yeah.
it's really neat how they've kind of revamped all of that. I have never been there because it's been closed most of the time I've been here,
Sure.
but a lot of people around here say they have a lot of memories when they were little
Absolutely.
going up there.
Yeah, so good. They'll be open up very, very soon. Well, Kendra, I know for a lot of us, trying to get outside and enjoy things with the family, whether it's Ghost Town in the Sky or anything else around our area, kind of having to duck thunderstorms lately.
Yeah, it can be touch and go, and you could just see dry as a bone conditions and then see a thunderstorm off about 10 miles in the distance. It's very random, and that will be the case tomorrow. We'll track the storms on Futurecast and talk about just how oppressively hot it's going to be.
It's true, you know a Harley when you hear one, but guess what? That's all about the change. The details on this new bike coming up.
And this upstate woman right here is celebrating a birthday most of us might never reach. She gives us an interesting perspective on being 100.
Plus teens and dating. How should a parent handle it? One dad's got an idea, and it got a lot of people talking.
We are back now with a developing story, and President Obama says he's getting ready to send as many as 300 military advisors to Iraq to help keep extremist militants at bay. He says the U.S. is forming joint operations centers in Baghdad and in northern Iraq, which is where militants inspired by al-Qaeda are starting to take over. But the president says he won't send American combat troops to Iraq, just military advisors to help stop the insurgents.
Well, new at 11, Harley-Davidson is debuting a brand new motorcycle that's different than its others. It's electric. The company unveiled its prototype this morning. Check this thing out. It runs on rechargeable batteries that you can plug into an electrical outlet. Right now, Harley is calling it Project Livewire because it isn't on sale yet. We stopped by Harley-Davidson of Greenville, who actually just found out about it themselves.
We're really excited about it. I mean, we were all crowded around the computer yesterday looking at it and looking at the styling, and it's something completely new for Harley-Davidson in a direction which we think they should try.
Next week, the bike will tour the country, stopping at 30 different Harley dealerships. Now, it's not clear when the bike will actually go on sale or how much it will cost, but a complete different style for Harley. And in motorcycles, well, if they're not your thing, maybe you prefer planes. Tomorrow morning, Joe Gagnon will be previewing the Aviation Expo in Greenwood County. He'll show us different planes that will be there and even maybe a helicopter, but I know from experience, working alongside Joe, he is not a fan of heights. And we used to make him get up in those just to scare him, but I don't know if he's going to get up there tomorrow. Well, you can find his full report and find out if he does go for a trip in the air starting at 5 a.m. and they are on until 9.
All right, well, now to a big birthday announcement. A woman in 96 turned 100 today. This is Helen Ballou, and she celebrated her big day with her friends at the 96 Senior Center. She has done a lot in her life, but sometimes wonders why she's lived so long, but says a family member really put it all in perspective.
I said, y'all, what's God leaving me here for? And her husband was sitting in the back seat. He says, Granny, he's not going to come get you because you eat too much. It costs too much to feed you.
Aww.
Very cute woman.
Isn't that cute? Well, she spent much of her 100 years laughing, you can tell, and will keep on doing so. And great to see that nice big crowd there in 96 to honor her on her birthday.
And what makes me feel good about these stories is that woman didn't listen to all these surveys and these studies that tell you how bad everything is for you. She probably ate whatever she wanted the last 100 years, and she made it.
She's doing great. I think having a good sense of humor is really a big thing, don't you?
Exactly.
You gotta laugh. All right, well, now to a story that is trending tonight. We're talking about teens dating, and it's something most parents dread.
And a lot of dads, they're known for laying down the law to intimidate potential suitors, but one dad in New Jersey is taking a very different approach, and it's got a lot of people talking, Diana. Check it out. His shirt says, it's probably hard to read, rules for dating my daughter. Number 1, I don't make the rules. Number 2, you don't make the rules. Number 3, she makes the rules. Number 4, her body, her rules. Feminist father, the picture has been shared more than 200,000 times.
Aww.
His daughter says she's proud of her dad for respecting her feminist beliefs.
Wow. But that's intimidating.
Yeah,
Imagine being the
bit.
guy, ding dong, hello, you're at the door and dad turns around and he's wearing that. I wonder how many guys turn and run, or are they accepting it? Hopefully they're accepting it.
Yeah.
Maybe has to kind of take that in stride, I guess. You do your own thing as a parent. Probably hard though.
It's hard, especially as your kids get older. You start going, whoa, wait a minute.
imagine.
They're going to go out on a date, you know?
You remember those days.
Yes, and that's part of the problem, I think.
Well,
All
maybe
right.
parents can use thunderstorms as an excuse. Because, you know, there are thunderstorms in the evening a lot of times. Say, well, weather's looking too bad, guys.
Stay home
No
with
date
us
tonight. But
That's right.
yeah, we're going to have to deal with more of those annoying thunderstorms that might be canceled if you swim meets this evening and during the afternoon. Many of you run in from whatever you're doing outside, maybe the golf course, because thunderstorms are just kind of scattered about. But luckily, it was a pretty nice end to our day. Let's check it out. We got a lot of your pictures after the storms rolled out. It was a very impressive sunset. This picture from Trip Cromer of heading home, and this one from Mary Samples. Sunset today, the brilliant color mixed with the clouds, and I hate to play favorites, but this one of my favorites. I tell you, red sky reflecting off the water. Oh, doesn't it make you want to be out at the lake? Well, we really appreciate Linda Brewer for sending in that picture. You can tag me in pictures on Facebook, or you can post them on our Fox Carolina News Facebook page, or just email it if you like it to do it that way, weather at foxcarolina.com. 68 right now at Furman. It is nice and cool there after a thunderstorm blew through. It'll stay at that temperature really throughout the overnight hours. And we're not dealing with much in the way of rain anymore, just a few light sprinkles around Lawrence County. Otherwise, we have cleared out and no more rumbles of thunder expected for the overnight hours. Right now, we are in the low 70s for many areas in the upstate, 72 for Spartanburg, 71 in Toccoa, 72 in Newberry. We're in the mid 70s elsewhere, 75 in Anderson and Lawrence, as well as Greenville, 76. And then looking at 76 for Abbeville, where it's 72 in Newberry. And looking toward the north, 67 for Travelers Rest, where it's 69 in Blacksburg and 67 in Pickens tonight. So as we head into tomorrow, we will start off clear. Boy, I've shown the same futurecast, I think, every single day. But I swear the model data is updating. It's just same weather scenario. We stay clear early on, but then as we go into the early part of the afternoon, a few storms developing. Let's stop it at 2 p.m. Storms first in the mountains. They'll start to slowly drift into the upstates. This is when it'll really start to fire up area wide, about 2 p.m. And then for 4 p.m., scattered storms in the upstate. That's when we'll have a slightly better chance, especially south of 85. And then about 7 p.m. as you're getting dinner ready, looks like we could still have a few lingering showers and thunderstorms. But then by 10 o'clock, when you're tuning in tomorrow night, it looks like we'll be mostly dry. So pretty much the scenario we've had all week long. And it's going to be very hot too. Mid 90s expected in the upstate, going with 96 for Gray Court, 94 for Boiling Springs, 95 in Greer tomorrow. We'll be at 96 in 96. I don't get to do that very often. 94 in Hartwell, 95 for Pickens, and in Western North Carolina, 88 for Weaverville, 86 in Spruce Pine, and 87 for you in Silva. So we'll start at 70, have a quick rebound into the mid 90s across the upstate with scattered showers and storms developing in the afternoon. No guarantee your area will get rain, but just keep your eye to the sky because those storms can turn dangerous fast. We'll get up to 87 in the mountains. And this weekend, we keep the rain chance about 30% for Saturday. We usher in summer officially Saturday as well, but it has definitely felt like it all week. And then next week, we'll take temperatures down just a notch, and with scattered storms possible really every day. I think we'll have a slightly better chance on Tuesday.
All right, Kendra, thanks. New tonight, we are talking.
Yeah, we're talking about a couple of guys in Florida. They had some trouble tonight they're in trouble for jumping on manatees. I mean, this is something a lot of people are upset about.
They thought it was funny. They filmed it and put it on YouTube. That's the first mistake.
Yeah.
And now police, well, they're not laughing about it.
I'm gonna do it. Look, come over here. It's right there. It's right here. Look, it's a huge one.
I'm gonna do. Hey, should I
oh, there's two of them.
Should I do it? Let's do it.
Well, the two men in this video were caught after bragging about it on Facebook. They ended up pleading guilty to harassing a mother manatee and her calf and were sentenced to 175 hours of community service and must also apologize to those manatees. No, I'm kidding. They must apologize on Facebook. It's illegal to mess with an endangered species. So
I'm not sure what the plus side of that is. What's the thrill?
I don't know. There's not one for me.
I don't think you can ride it.
How would you ever see a manatee and say, I'm going to go jump on this thing?
It's a little
of
ridiculous.
all the animals, and that's an animal that I'll tell you, people have a soft spot for them because they're slow and they're kind of there in the water and they're real gentle.
You don't want to mess with a manatee. You also don't want to mess with a panther. We
True.
got plenty of Panthers information coming up. They finished up their mini camp. Surprise, surprise, look who's back out on the field. Cam Newton running through more drills, but not at full strength. Find out why he is not happy with his performance today. Plus, told you about her yesterday. The youngest ever to qualify at the U.S. Women's Open. Tease it up with the pros, and she did better than you might think. All that and more, yours, Straight Ahead in Sports.
And would you like to be the vet for this rare gator? It takes a whole team to give it a checkup. I think I'll pass. But we'll tell you about these people coming out.
Cam gets back to work. Hey there, I'm Aaron Cheslock. Only the coaching staff and Cam Newton knew the Panthers quarterback would practice as much as he did on Thursday. Newton taking part in 7-on-7 drills during the final day of Carolina's minicamp. Ron Rivera says Newton's making the right reads and decisions, but rust is preventing him from hitting some of his targets. Newton says it's good to get back out there, but he knows there's still plenty of work to do.
I'm feeling better than I thought I would at this point, but right now it's trying to get 100%. As I'm reminded with doing specific things and, doing this particular movement and it aches or irritates it at one given point, but all in all it's getting better and that's a good sign.
Newton and the Panthers now take some time off the field before getting back at it next month for training camp at Wofford. The Braves look to continue and stop a trend. Atlanta winning 22 of 29 games against Washington, but they head to D.C. dropping 8 of their last 12, chasing the Nats now for the NL East lead. Coming into the game, Gavin Floyd and company sitting a game and a half back. Top 4, they're loaded for Chris Johnson. Sends a screamer to center. Freddie Freeman, Evan Gattis, come on home. 2-0 Braves. Then Floyd went to work in the 4th. Anthony Rendon, Jason Worth. Floyd straight dealing, only 2 hits over 6 innings. Leads the Braves to a 3-0 win, but Floyd left after throwing only 1 pitch in the 7th. Post-game x-rays unfortunately show a fractured right elbow. No word on how long he'll be out, but you can bet on a DL stint. The rain got out just in time for the drive opener with Savannah. Top 2, Colton Playa with a couple guys on, takes Jamie Candlehand's offering to center. Both runners score 2-0 Sand Gnats. Bottom 2, Manuel Margot down the right field line, just stays fair, just gets by the right fielder, and Manuel goes. He rounds third and trots in for the inside the Parker, but at last check the drive, still down 6-3 in the ninth. Pitchers duel in Augusta. Taurus take it 1-0 in the series opener on a wild pitch in the ninth. Unconventional, but yet another late inning win for Asheville. Paladin great Clint Dempsey's good to go for the U.S. against Portugal, but not his teammate Josie Altidore. U.S. players saying the forward's bum hamstring will sideline him on Sunday. No official word yet, but that figures to come shortly. The national squad, meanwhile, continuing preps for Portugal without him, who has one of the most dangerous players on the planet. That's Cristiano Ronaldo. And after getting blown out by Germany 4-0, Ronaldo and Portugal heads into Sunday in desperation mode.
We're going to have to know where he's at all times. When we're attacking, that can be when he's most dangerous, because you lose the ball and the next thing you know, it's in the back of your net.
Here's the shocker of the day. Uruguay, England, 39th minute. Edison Cavani. Tough angle, gets it to Luis Suarez, and he gets the header to go. 1-0. England would tie it up, but in the 84th minute, Suarez again. The go-ahead goal downs the British. Uruguay wins 2-1. Spain already out. Now the Brits wavering on the ropes too. And we told you about her yesterday. 11-year-old Lucy Lee shoots a respectable 78 in the first round of the U.S. Open. That's better than more than 30 other golfers, a lot of them pros. Lee is the youngest qualifier in the history of the Women's Open. And finally, guys, check out the new Charlotte Hornets home jersey. That's the white one with the Hornets on the front. Then the road, all purple, with same type of lettering. But a lot of folks, including myself, guys, think this alternate jersey here with Charlotte on the front and that color of blue is the best. So my fellow anchors from South Carolina, what's your favorite new jersey?
I like the bluish. I like the blue one.
Yeah. But I like the purple too. I think they're all pretty cool. So when do they wear the blue one? Is that just special occasions? Okay. Maybe they'll listen to us and wear it more. What do you think? We can all leave. We can. All right. Well, most alligators are green, of course.
Not this one.
No?
It's different.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to go too far to see him for yourself, either. Wait till we talk about this. Well, welcome back. We have the nightcap to wrap things up. And when you take your dog to the vet, it's probably not that big of a deal. But if you have to take an alligator, it is.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it takes a whole team, apparently, to care for this rare albino alligator living in Charleston. This is Alabaster, and he needed to see a vet. It took a dozen staffers to give him a checkup. He was given a clean bill of health, luckily. Albino alligators are extremely rare, with just about 50 in the world, and it makes sense because they wouldn't be able to hunt very well. I mean, they really stick out in a swamp environment or wherever, but just amazing that there are so few of them out there.
Isn't that neat? We go to Charleston and see them there.
Exactly. Well, Charleston's hot too, just like us, and it looks like we're going to keep those storm chances through the weekend, but no guarantee you'll get rain every day, but just pop-up storms each one.
All right, so I guess we all have to be ready. Well, thanks for being with us tonight.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 10.